A guy had a shirt on, said money, power, respect. It's too bad his priorities are all out of whack. It's a sad thing. It's reality that these young folk believe that they're in. Unless you have money, you don't have power nor respect. Certainly money and power bring about an expectation of respect, but with the views of people like our president, or people's views of our president, that's clearly not the case. Respect is earned. Now, I'm not making a political statement there, I'm making a statement about society. You can't, honestly, that guy has a shirt on, money, power, respect, and he'll probably in the same breath tell you he doesn't respect the president. That's what I'm saying. Respect is earned, though. It's earned through actions, deeds, morals, beliefs, and words. This young group today, it's hard to explain that in a TikTok. And they're being bombarded with messages to the opposite. I fear that one of the, Winston Churchill, right? He said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And I would say that today's world, or today's youth, and maybe even some of us old guys, it's not the fear. They've embraced the fear. And they live with the fear, so much so they don't want to get rid of it. They'd rather fear than act. And why is that? I gotta say that a lot of it has to do with fear of failure. And there's a concept I've heard a couple times by different people. An author named Maxwell. Denzel Washington did it at, I think, a commencement speech. And the concept is essentially, instead of having fear of failing, concentrate on failing forward. And I've always had that kind of thought in my head. If you're going to fail at something, or you're going to try something new, to think that you're going to get it right away it's just not a mature thinking pattern, right? Everything new comes with failure, but it's how you embrace it. If you fear failure, you're going to fail, you're going to try again, fail, and then you're going to probably call upon some axiom like only definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Sure, but if you try something over and over again and learn or study why the outcome either remained the same or maybe didn't change but changed just a little bit in the positive, you're now taking on a whole nother aspect or approach to failure. And that's what I kind of refer to as failing forward. That no matter what happens, if you had a program line that started with your current situation or your current status, and at the end of the line you had where you want to be, or what you want to do, or something you want to do as your goal. And you're going to try something, and you're going to evaluate what went wrong when you didn't hit your goal. But as long as you're moving forward along that path, you're failing forward. You're not failing back. And the only thing you really have to worry about is fear. And the only time, I mean, here's something I'll give you right now. This is what I believe. The only time you fail at failure is when you fail to see why you failed. Or a slight modification is, the only time you fail at failure is when you fail to learn about the failure. So each failure is an opportunity to learn. And if you've learned, even if it's a monochrome of progress on your path, you've fallen forward. Because you've taken that 1 degree step forward and you've fallen forward. If you succumb to fear and you throw away everything you've learned, you fall back. And honestly, like Chesty Puller, failure or falling back or retreat is not an option unless you're retreating to move forward again. And you can only do that if you have no failure or fear of failure. Now, is this something you can say tomorrow, hey, I'm not going to fear failure anymore? Hell no. That's like getting, those of us that have been airborne and jumped out of planes, the first time you do it, you're scared out of your wits, right? Holy crap. What am I about to do? What if I don't open? What if the chute doesn't open? Well, if that happens, you got a pretty easy decision, and that's to pull your reserve. And if that doesn't happen, well, then you don't have anything to worry about it anymore because you're about to meet your maker. But that first attempt is just, you do it. You don't fear it, you go out and you do it. You don't have a choice, right? You're just gonna do it. That's your mindset. Now where the problem lies is doing it again. It's the scariest jump you'll ever be on, is jump number 2. Because now you know what's happening. But that's kind of what I think Maxwell defines as the terror wall. And that terror wall is microscopic thin. And once you bust through it, everything gets easier. And your eyes start opening up. And you start jumping again. You get through your 5th jump, you graduate, you're cool. You go back to your unit. It's time for what we call your cherry blast. And if you don't know what a cherry blast is, ask in the comments and I'll let you know. It's kind of rude. But your cherry blast, you get that, you're scared all over again. Because now you want to perform in front of your unit. But you get through it. And then after 20 jumps or so, you start to notice that your eyes open up. And you start to see that what you did not see before. And so learning a new thing and dealing with the fear of failure is kind of the same process. Try something new, you don't really know what you're getting into, you try it, doesn't work out. Normally, a person's gonna go right back in and try it again. Then that doesn't work out and you start to question yourself. And you start to think, wow, is this gonna happen? And you try it again, same thing. You're just trying to, you're trying to analyze what's going on. You're gonna try to accept the fear, or push down the fear and accept the failure and learn from it, and you got that mindset, but that fear creeps back in. And at some point, you're gonna hit the terror wall or the frustration wall. It's the same thing to me. Either you're gonna be so frustrated you're just gonna give up, or you're gonna be so afraid of failure that you don't want to face the failure again. And that's your pinnacle point. That's when you feel that. You reach down and you say, not today. Not today. I'm moving out, I'm gonna continue on. And it may be falling back to move forward a little bit, but you're gonna go at it with the mindset that you're gonna fail forward. And so if you're watching this, I ask you to challenge yourself and fail forward. Now we're gonna go back over a bridge here. And you can see the river, it's beautiful, beautiful day.